là lộ tả hết cái đó là cái điểm đặc biệt của một.
It's gorgeous, right? What about that one?
Hello, I am Minh Triet, a passionate sophomore student who was studying English Linguistics at Saigon University. Welcome to my tag book. I've been waiting for this journey since I was a freshman, and now I'm here doing this vlog and sending out good memories to you guys. Everything has a start. A day before my set off, I went to the cut station and that lady did her magic. Bada bing, bada bam. Oh, and with the assistance of my bestie, of course. Sadly, this sleigh hairstyle hadn't lasted for even a single day. Also, I already packed up my meds prepared by my clothes. I started my trip, and by 7 a.m., I arrived at Trung Lương Station for the first breakfast of this journey. Next, I took a long trip and was dropped in Ba Chú Sư Temple in the middle of the sunny noon. On the entrance to the main section, there was a lot of vendors and stalls selling fruits, merchandises, and delicacy like mắm bò hóc, mắm cá linh, mắm cá sặc. You name it, they have it. As the legend passed by, there was a statue of Ba on the same mountain. People attempted to bring her down, but it was in vain. Up until 9 maidens carried her down, that it was successful. As the statue of Ba got heavy up to the point that all the maidens were exhausted, the people of Giao Đốc built on the temple to worship her. The temple's architecture resembles an image of a bloom lotus with an organization based on the Chinese character Woc. Years come, tourists from all around the country and the globe come to Ba for showing grace and desire for wealth, health, and pleasure in life. Ba Chú Sư Temple is rated as a national destination for historical and religious values, attracting thousands, even millions of tourists per year. Leaving the formal and religious atmosphere at Ba Chú Sư Temple, I headed to An Giang for the Cha Sư Kachiput jungle. If you think ecotourism is all about greens and woods and rustic activities, my friend, you're wrong. I had a wonderful experience at the jungle. This was the first time I went on kayak and was carried along throughout a route filled with astounding scenes. As opposed to the hustling and bustling atmosphere in the city, I was healed and mesmerized by the lush green of the woods, the soothing floats of water as the lady rode along the route. Despite the scorching sun and bug attacks, it was still a memorable moment at Gia Sư. By the time we arrived at Hà Tĩnh, the sun had settled. Without a hint of exhaustion, we had dinner at Hà Tĩnh Riverside Hotel and prepared for our first night away from home. Gia Thái was a big 4x6. Sadly, it wasn't as good as the we had back in Saigon. Although it was called Gia Thái, we were taken to the restroom instead of Thailand. Oh, and my friend, she broke her leg. Sorry, Ariel. We went back to the hotel to recharge our energy and of course our phones. It was late. See you tomorrow. Good night. We took an express ship to fast forward from Hà Tĩnh to Phu in just 1.5 hours. My friend, she had to fight against the fierce sea waves that day. It's time for some beautiful experience at Đảo Ngọc Bee Farm. Honey has long been known for its decadent contribution to our cuisine. I had always wondered where our honey came from. Now I had a chance to see real bees in real life. In the late noon, we headed to Tinh Hoa, Vietnam. It is located next to Grand World. If Grand World is the complex of multicultural from all around the world, then Tinh Hoa, Vietnam is the encapsulation of the finest decadence of Vietnam. The area is consisted of 20 architectures, each of which resembles a certain aspect of Vietnamese arts, such as đồng hồ canvas, traditional costumes, ceramics, and porcelains. Let alone the pleasure from each corner we went in, Tinh Hoa, Vietnam brought us with a picturesque views in the gorgeous curtain of noon rays. Those deeply raised the Vic spirit in me. It's about time for the starlight of the day, or night, you discover it out soon. The Grand World, a complex of 85 hectares with a combination of modern design and essential aspects from many cultures all around the world. Grand World has its name of a sleepless city for reasons. In Saigon, we can only get this vibe while hanging out at District 1. It is the sensation of the dark sky with the vibrant nightlife of the tourists creating such atmosphere right at Grand World. We took a stroll to the Happy Bomb restaurant and had our last meal of the day. After filling our stomach, our crew decided to rent VinFast electric mobiles for a ride around the city. Thanks to the decision, I enjoyed Grand World scene to its finest. Later that night, we gathered around the lake to see the water show. I was fascinated at each performance. There was light, steam, water, orchestras, and I couldn't help but filming all until my battery died out. I started our third day with a visit to Ngọc Minh Pearl Farm. At first, I thought it was boring to knowing more about pearls. This farm had me think twice. As I went deeper to the complex, I was amazed by its design. They filled it with artifacts and fossils as if it were a museum. Those artifacts were great examples for Ngọc Minh's history and business. And later, I went upstairs to see how they ran a literal business. Ngọc Minh was known for its fine quality of pearl and jewelry in general. Despite the fact that they came with an affordable price, still, I couldn't afford any. On the other hand, we filmed a lot of comedy and were ready to throw them on air. I arrived at a peppercorn farm in the middle of the deadly sunlight. As if the peppercorns loved the extreme weather, they were all green and bursted out young sprouts. Okay, so who sprayed the perfume in here? Phu Quoc fish sauce was known for its aromatic and exquisite taste. At Khai Hoang's, I learned how a fisherman made their own gifts from the sea with only fish and salt. Every droplet of fish sauce resembles our Vietnamese great qualities like endurance, laborious, and innovative. It was half of the day and our team went to Ho Quoc Pagoda. At Ho Quoc, I heard the story of the great Buddha who was initially a human but successfully left all the normal pleasures of this realm to seek for the highest form of life, the nirvana. I am here at Bãi Sao Beach. At the moment, everyone was into the team building games. I was in the two first sections, yet my strength didn't allow me to play it further, so I began to roam around and capture all the sea's beauty. This was also the first time I tasted salt sea with my besties. Bye-bye, Phu Quoc. Gonna miss you. It was the fourth day and also the last day in Phu Quoc. We packed our luggage and prepared to spend our half day getting back to the land. Luckily, the sea that day was gentle to us as no one got nauseous during the trip. Oh, and in case if you're wondering, our meals during the trip were top-notch. Although some dishes were kind of flat, I still appreciated what I had overall. It was the cá lòng tông chiên giòn, and gỏi cá trích, and giá gà chiên giòn, which I remember the most. Those were mỹ vị nhân gian, and I couldn't wait for my next try. And pardon for my versatility and fashion week-like attitude, yeah. And you know what? All of these were being stuffed tormentedly in my suitcase. Oops. At the gala, we had a chance to throw back what we had done in this trip and feast in the name of SGU students. And for sure, we all had our great time even without those boozes. It's almost midnight and we headed to the Cần Thơ market. At first, the architecture of this market was kinda identical to the Bến Thành market. My friend and I went rounds and rounds the market and tried many good snacks. We even brought home souvenirs and gifts for our beloved ones. It was the last day of our trip. Pretty rushy, wasn't it? Early in the morning, our scarlet shirts went on a tour around Ninh Riverside Hotel for learning about the hotel's facilities and business. It wasn't not simply a check-in and check-out of a tourist, but there was a whole industry of service and evaluation behind each hotel. We finally made it to our last destination of this journey, the Home King's Temple. The temple is about 4 hectares in width, with 14 small shrines to commemorate the force and efforts of the building and keeping the nation of Home Kings. At the main shrine, there were 18 delicate archwings resembling 18 eras of Home Dynasty. We gathered there and have a formal commemoration to the Home King. Leaving the temple, I deeply understood my responsibility as a Lakham child who had to take our nation to a top tier alongside with the others. Bye bye, goodbye, and hello. I'm finally made it to the end after 5 days at literally the whole southern part of Vietnam. I learned a lot of experience and I'm looking forward to the next trip. See ya!